Hello, welcome to Creation Unplugged Zentangle Instruction. My name is Debbie Thompson, and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher living in Eugene, Oregon. I'm going to be teaching 3 tangles in 3 separate videos. This is the second video in the series. There is no need to view these videos in any particular order. The first tangle was completed on a traditional 3.5 by 3.5 inch square Zentangle tile drawn diagonally in a center section, leaving 2 sections of the tile open for 2 more tangles. We're using traditional products, a black micron pen, graphite pencil, tortillon, and a white charcoal pencil. I'd like to start by creating 4 corner dots, drawing lines between those dots to create a border. For consistency, I will be using the same string that I used in the first video. If you completed that first video and the first tangle and would like to carry on with that same tile, go ahead. I will be using a new tile for instruction on the next or second tangle in this series. This tangle we'll be working on today is called Hollibaugh. Hollibaugh is a basic tangle, and it's also a technique. It's made using 2 parallel lines. For this instruction today, I will be teaching a tangle within a tangle. So I would like you to draw your Hollibaugh wider than you normally would, knowing that you will be drawing another tangle within the lines of this Hollibaugh. I chose this instruction today because I've completed this tangle within a tangle before, and it has an organic feel to it. When it's completed, I think it looks a little bit like branches of a tree that have randomly fallen. So I think I'll stop with just that amount of Hollibaugh and move on next to creating the tangle within the tangle. This tangle is called Diva dance. First, put a line in the middle of one Hollibaugh plank or stick, and going down the line, draw at random maybe 2 or 3 little black bumps. Remember, this is an organic tangle. Everyone's interpretation will be different. Then I'm going to aura that line and those bumps that were created within the plank of that Hollibaugh. And once again, I'll simply place 1, 2, or maybe 3 small black bumps. And again, aura those lines and those black bumps. Now, some of the black bumps that I'm placing on the outside or on the very edges of this Hollibaugh sort of come outside that original line just a little bit to give this pattern, once shaded, a bit of a dimension or a dimensional look. So I'm adding the bump or two, and just look at it and you can kind of see where maybe you need a little darkness. The contrast of dark and light is beautiful in this pattern, I believe. And then aura, those lines and that bump as you go along. And this is where I really hope that you made your Hollibaugh lines or planks wide enough. And once that's complete, what I'm going to do is take my graphite pencil and I'm going to darken or add some of that graphite to both sides, the very edges of this Hollibaugh plank or roadway, or the edges of this branch, if that's how you see it. Now remember, for shading to be effective, it's important to have areas of light. So I'm going to try to leave the center section of this particular pattern white or not shaded. So the graphite and shading on the edges will have more of an impact. Then grab your tortillon if you have one. If you don't, you can use your finger to sort of smudge out that graphite just a little bit. But I'm going to use my tortillon and gently pull out some of that graphite toward the center. Again, leaving a section or a little strip in the middle that's white or brighter. This will give each of these little sticks of Hollibaugh a little more dimension. Now I have a white general pencil, white charcoal pencil, and I'm going to lay down a strip of white in the center. If you don't have that, that's fine. If you have maybe a white gel pen, a strip of white with a gel pen can give the same effect, or the fact that you left that center section light, the effect will be the same. Okay, here I've shaded and made highlights on all of my elements of this Hollibaugh with Diva dance within the Hollibaugh, except for my last little section, using my graphite pencil, laying down the graphite on the edges and gently pulling it out with my tortillon, not too far, gently toward the center, leaving a strip in the middle and laying down some white charcoal. So here is our tangle within a tangle completed. First Hollibaugh and then Diva dance. Added some graphite for shading and some white charcoal for highlights. I add some thin little strips in there. Here's another example and some close-ups. And this is shown with the first tangle in the series, Dude. And finally, one more example of tangle within a tangle, Hollibaugh and Diva dance. I hope you enjoyed this instruction, and I'll see you for the third and final part of this series. Thank you.